Hello, I'm Chef Brian. We're here at the Whole Foods Market in Naples, and it's summertime. So summertime, it's time to pop out the grill, and we're going to talk about some awesome steaks that we can cook on the grill today. Our first steak here is our ribeye steak. This is just a great cut, and you can see here too, we're going to have a little bit of the fat in the middle and kind of marbled into that. That's going to give it a lot of flavor. The second cut here is our T-bone. And our T-bone is just definitely known for that big T shape right in the middle. And a lot of people, you can see that this cut as well. You're not going to have some of the large pieces of fat on the middle, just a little bit on the outside. Next steak is our strip steak, which is very similar to the T-bone except without the bone. It's going to be that same cut and the same amount of fat that's marbled on the inside and the strip of fat just around the outside. And then our last cut today is our filet mignon. And then you can see here, this is absolutely the leanest cut that there is. So before we put these steaks on the grill, we're just going to season them very lightly with a little bit of salt and pepper on both sides. You can just see that I'm just kind of going with a little bit of our cracked black pepper. We're going to switch that over on that side. So since we're going to be eating both sides of the meat, we're going to go ahead and season both sides. We're going to do the same thing, just kind of sprinkle just a little bit going across here. So we're going to start, I'm just going to lay these on. You can hear that nice sizzle. We have a nice preheated grill. You always want to make sure that you got the grill preheated. That T-bone is a little bit bigger than all of our cuts, so that guy we're pretty much going to leave on there the longest. I like my steaks to be about 1 inch thick. That's just a great size. You're only going to be doing just about 4 or 5 minutes on each side, and then a little bit longer for our T-bone. What we want to do is just be able to kind of have it on one side and then just give it about a 45-degree turn. Then we're going to flip it over, do the same thing on each side. That's also going to give us that really nice, pretty kind of cross mark on the steak that people really like to see. Personally, I don't like closing the grill. I'm not going to want all that smoky flavor to be in there. And today we got our grill fired up nice and hot, so we're still going to be able to maintain a consistent level of heat without having the lid closed. So you can see that we're getting some, the juices are coming right to the surface with our ribeye and with our strip. Those are definitely some of the thinner cuts there. So we're going to go ahead and turn that over. Yeah, and that's looking real nice there. We're going to go ahead and leave the other two there sit a little bit longer. We're still not, you can slowly see some of the juices on the T-bone coming together, but again, that's a thick steak. It's going to need a little bit more time. We're going to go ahead and turn the filet. You see we got a nice sear on the outside, and whenever you're able to get that crispiness and get that sear, that's going to help hold all those juices in. That's really the key of having a nice, moist steak. Is you want to be able to make sure that you're not losing those. You're not going to want to poke it. You're not going to want to keep moving it around. You're going to want to get a nice sear on the outside so everything stays inside the steak. All right, we're going to go ahead and take these guys off. We got our ribeye. And our nice thick New York strip. Now, we're going to let these rest here. An important thing is when you take the meat off the grill, it's still cooking. You know, that's still a really hot piece of meat, and we're going to let it rest. Because again, if we cut open to it now, we're going to lose all that juice that we've been working so hard to make sure it's staying on the inside of the steak. All right, this filet is looking good. You can see here we got that nice sear, but we're still, it's going to be nice and rare on the inside still. And with our T-bone, you can see we got some nice marks on both sides, and it's still going to be pretty soft, so you have another nice good rare steak right there too. You can see those juices coming to the surface that I was speaking of as well too. That's letting you know that everything's cooking good on the inside. So let's go ahead and cut this guy open there. You can see there we got it kind of nice and pink. This is our New York strip again, and then this is going to be the one where we're not going to have the big pieces of fat in the middle. We're just going to have it just on the outside. This is our filet mignon. This is the cut that's going to be really nice and rare, and you can see here too, it's going to be red in the middle. This is the one that we want rare because it's so lean, there's no fat, and then this is really going to have the absolute most amount of flavor. And then we have our T-bone steak, and you know we have the bone going right in the middle there, so what we're going to do is just going to cut a piece of this right like that. And we can see here too, we kind of have a nice medium kind of towards on the rare side. And we can see all those juices as well too, you know. And then this is our ribeye steak, our final one. This is the one where you're going to have some pieces of those fat marbled within the meat. But again, this is going to be very flavorful because of all the meat is going to get the fat pieces soaked into it as it's been cooking.